Hello, Don Schmidt, the Book Kahuna, coming at you with today's publishing tip for the day. Today I'm starting on a journey that I had promised that I would do a while back and never actually got into. I'm going to be giving some information on the book by Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. And I'm going to do it chapter by chapter. I just finished reading the first chapter. Now, I did not read it in print form using paper. I actually have the 1937 version of Think and Grow Rich in ebook form. Now, in reading the first chapter, the thing that struck me about the first chapter was that it was all about persistence. Having an idea, having the desire, and being persistent and consistent in achieving that desired end. The first story was all about C. Barnes, the man who wanted to be a partner with Thomas Edison and basically had nothing and showed up at Edison's headquarters and made his way into the shop and met with Edison, and through his persistence was given a position with the Edison company, and then eventually got to the point where he was working directly with Thomas Edison, selling the dictating machine that Thomas Edison had invented. It all comes down to whether you can be persistent enough to continue hammering until you get to the vein of gold. And that was the next story as well. Mr. Darby, who did all kinds of geographical research and found a vein of gold and got his family to invest and get all the equipment to start drilling and digging for this gold. And they found some gold. But after they had already mined it, the gold stopped. The ore wasn't there. And they tried and tried and tried, and they could not get back to the vein that he thought he had found. Now, would you give up, or would you possibly try a different direction? Mr. Darby gave up. He gave up. He sold all his equipment. Another person, the junk man, that they say in the book, bought all the equipment, did some geographical studies, and actually found that the vein had followed a fault in a different direction. And they hit the gold, dug it out, and he was a rich man, while Mr. Darby was not. Now, Darby went into insurance sales and used the education that he had received in his mining expedition to persist and continuously keep getting to a yes from a no to sell insurance, and became $1 million seller of insurance. Now, since this book was written in 1937, there are some politically incorrect things that are in the book, and the one part is you have to remember that this was 1937 when the little colored girl is sent to Darby's uncle to get 50 cents for her mother. And Darby's uncle, she comes in, asks once. Darby's uncle says, no, get out of here. She doesn't leave. He says, "Why are you still here? You're supposed to go. Get out of here." She says, "Okay," but she doesn't leave. Finally, he walks over, and it's almost like he's going to hit this little colored girl. That's 1937 speak, by the way. And she screams at him that her mother needs the money, the 50 cents. And Darby's uncle just reaches in his pocket and takes out the 50-cent piece and gives it to her. The little girl is won. Now, what are these threads that all come together in all of these stories? What is the commonality of what we see here? It's confronting immovable objects. It's making sure that you're persistent. It's not giving up. It's not being a quitter. It's having the mindset of knowing and visualizing exactly what you want and being able to want it so badly that you'll do anything to achieve it. And that is what I've gotten from the first chapter of Think and Grow Rich. Persistence, consistence, and having a mindset that says, I am going to achieve this and nothing is going to keep me from doing it. That is Think and Grow Rich. Don Schmidt, first chapter book review, Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill. I think you should all go out and buy this book and read this book and put all of the tenets into practice, because you know what? You too can think and grow rich. Don Schmidt, the Book Kahuna, Chapter 2 coming up. Bye-bye.